Well, we are recording and 30 seconds is a really long time,
Yeah, it's a really long time.
right? Seriously. It mutes our
I
mics
wonder,
when I do it too.
yeah, I wonder if that song builds up.
I wonder too. Let's find out.
Bigot! Bigot is my podcast! Bigot! Bigot is my... Bigot! Bigot is my podcast! Bigot! Bigot is my...
I just can't let it go all the way to 1. That would
No. You gotta, yeah,
that would be ridiculous.
yeah. Good call. Anyway, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Bacon is my podcast. He is
Yeah.
Jimmy GP Craving Strange. I am Mike Wayman from Something Heavy, and this is where we drink stuff and talk about stuff and countdown.
Yeah. I got to get a bunch of sounds and stuff for when we do these remote ones.
Yeah. Well, I like this. This music is kind of chill. It makes me.
Yeah.
I could listen to that. I could just listen to that.
I could too. It's a fun little. Yeah,
It's a great function.
it is. Right?
For the listening folks, Jimmy is using this new platform called StreamYard.
Yeah,
And
not
we
a sponsor.
No, not a sponsor. But yeah, it's definitely a cool little thing, and he's got this sweet countdown thing. So
Yeah.
that's what that music is for, a countdown. And in your head now, anytime you hear it, just count back from 30.
Yeah, it just starts right at 30. And it feels like it's gonna be like at least 5 minutes long. That music, it's really kind of like it gets you ready for a very long countdown.
It's like the beginning of a movie theater, like when you see the advertisements of, the jewelry shop around the block, or,
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
It's the countdown to the actual let's go out to the lobby.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, before we started, Jimmy is obviously at his rehearsal studio.
Yep, I'm at the Craving Strange
We're doing
rehearsal space.
we are doing remotely today for precautionary reasons.
Yes.
And it sounds as if he forgot his booze this is what we do.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of booze, actually.
You're out of booze.
I don't have booze at home.
You are destitute.
I am destitute. I am sans booze.
That's
Boozeless.
But you were able to find something.
But yeah, and here at the studio, we have a little mini fridge, and usually it is stocked by my bass player Monty with beers that I don't drink. I like beers, but I'm not a fan of like Bud Lights and Coronas, and that's all that's in there is Bud Lights and Coronas.
Yeah, when we drink beer with a body.
Yeah.
Not mad a body, with an actual body.
Right. I have drank beer with a body.
Yes. No,
have.
I've had a few, yeah.
Yeah.
But
this isn't that.
No, this isn't that at all. And yeah, that beer is got to be a porter or a stout, Something
Yeah.
that makes you feel like you just ate a roast beef sandwich afterwards.
Right. Yeah. It's got to
That's the kind of beer that I like.
it's got to leave a film on you, the inside of your cheeks.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like licking the inside of your cheek. You're like, yeah,
Yeah. Save that for later.
I get that. I get it. But I did. So a widely known. Well, I don't know if it's widely known. Maybe within our circle, it's widely known that for a long period of time, I lived in my van and then lived in this rehearsal studio. It was by choice because we were touring and trying to do a lot of very focused on band stuff, and I was running kind of everything at the time, and so I needed the extra time that a third job would have taken away from me. So 2 jobs and living in the studio. Now, when I lived in the studio, I always had booze in here. I drank a lot more back then, and I would never be without. Now, I forgot. I always forget, but in this little mini fridge, I did have a mason jar of a Midnight Moon moonshine.
Yeah. I actually think I might have something like that in my fridge still. It's probably about as old as yours.
Yeah, I have.
That doesn't go very fast.
No,
it's
that
always a crowd
doesn't.
pleaser.
This jar will last a while because you can't really have a lot of it.
It's generally a crowd pleaser because it's somebody new comes in and goes, "Ooh, apple pie moonshine."
Right.
That sounds great.
Now, I will say when you think about something like moonshine, a lot of people immediately their brain goes to like very high octane stuff, 100 proof, like 110 proof, like that idea. This is not that. The good makers of Midnight Moon, apple pie moonshine,
not a sponsor.
They make a palatable moonshine. This is actually only about 70 proof.
Okay.
I think. Let me find it here. Yeah, 70 proof exactly. Because it's got the apple and cinnamon and all that other kind of stuff in it.
It doesn't taste like gasoline.
It still tastes a lot like gasoline, but less like gasoline. I do have some real deal moonshine at my home in my freezer. I do have that there. That's been there for years, and that's one of those things where it's legit. If someone's over, you're like, we'll sip one of these. We'll have a couple, like one sip each, and then we're good, right?
Yeah.
And then you move on to the other drink. This was kind of like, this is made to be a sipper or a drinker, I guess, or a shooter maybe. I don't know. I used to have more stuff in here, but this is what's left. The mason jar of apple pie moonshine.
Yeah.
Not the first mason jar I drank from, not the last.
Yeah, and it's certainly not a mystery flask, but
fun
nonetheless.
So cheers to you.
Cheers, friends. So
that is nice. Whew, that is a burn.
Even being 25 years old.
Even being 25 years old, yeah. It's probably 10. No, maybe not 10. No. Maybe it's like, man, I moved out of the studio 4 years ago.
Okay.
So this is at least 6 years old.
I was going to say, if it was 10 years ago, that wouldn't be a thing anymore.
Right.
You would have drank that whole thing.
Yeah, probably.
6 years ago.
But still 6. I forgot it was here, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I remember, so.
Yeah, one day I have a feeling that we're going to find mystery booze in this place.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. I still have the Dubliner, the original honey Dubliner.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the honey one.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we had some of that left.
Yes, we do.
Nice.
So, I guess it's mystery booze. You didn't know it was there.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, once you know what it is, though, the mystery's gone. I mean, what we could do is we could make a mystery booze, and then we could continuously make one. Like every time we get to the bottom quarter of a bottle, we could pour it into another bottle, right? Like that. The next bottle that we get to a quarter of, we pour into that.
that sounds like a terrible idea. I
And
mean,
then the next bottle we get.
yeah, we could do that. Because we have the Dubliner, and I feel like if the two of us have a bit of a like a little drink of that, we can definitely throw that in that other bottle.
Yeah, so we could kind of, build our own whiskey blend.
Yeah. Or just garbage.
That also could happen. Sounds like
have a
stuff I
feeling
used to do.
Yeah.
Sounds like what
How-
happens in my mystery flasks.
Right. How do I make this little bit of everything that I have a drink?
Exactly.
Notice that I didn't say a good drink.
No. Well, that's mixology.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to call it.
It's science, man.
A science. So before we get into this, we do definitely have to talk about these guys. Oh God, stupid light.
Oh, our pod decks, yes.
Our
We are
pod
brought
decks.
to you. Brought to you by pod decks.
Yes, hashtag powered by Poddex.
Yeah.
Thank you again to Poddex for being a sponsor of ours, an affiliate sponsor,
Absolutely.
the first, hopefully not the last.
Yeah.
And don't forget to go to poddex.com and use the promo code BACON for an additional 10% off. 10% off.
I would do it just so that I can type bacon into a promo box and get
Right.
a discount. Like that's just awesome. I don't
Usually-
care what it is. Like I would do that for any product. If I could put in bacon and get a discount, I would think about buying whatever product that was.
Right.
But pod decks are awesome, so
Because
it's a double bonus.
generally bacon is an additional cost.
Yeah.
When you go to the counter somewhere, let's say a fast food place or just a regular fast food joint, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. If you want a burger or you want a turkey sandwich or something, bacon, it's money right there.
Always extra.
At least $1.50.
Yeah.
Easily. Diner could be even more.
It's the guacamole of meats.
Exactly.
Or
If you
guacamole
see
is bacon of condiments.
I don't know, bacon isn't really a condiment, is it?
Well, that's what I said. Guacamole is the bacon of condiments. Bacon is
okay.
not a condiment. Bacon is a food
No.
group.
Yes, it is. So once again, go to poddex.com, promo code BACON.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to the interview deck. Jimmy's gonna have to pick one of these, and I'm gonna ask him that question towards the end of the show. It's been pretty good. I like doing that.
I like the questions. Like they're actually pretty cool questions.
Yeah.
I
So-
actually ordered a pod decks, and I'm hopefully I'll get it before I go home next time I go home, and I'll bring it home and do that with friends.
Yeah. Excellent.
While drinking.
So something that we need to look forward to this year is Warner Brothers making the big announcement last year that they're going to release all of their movies to HBO Max.
Very excited.
That is very cool. I wanted to see what you thought about it because I do know that there's a lot of pushback. And yeah, what is your take on Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 84? There's a number of really big, high budget blockbuster movies that should have been out in the theater. Now they're going to be released simultaneously in theaters. But how do you feel about it?
I get it. I totally get the pushback. It's kind of that same idea, like, when music went from, I'm sure when music went from records to cassettes, there were people that were like, this isn't how we want our music to be heard, in the industry
Yeah.
and stuff. And they were like, yeah, but this is an easier way for people to consume it.
Yeah.
And then when it went to CDs, it was another thing. And then when it went to MP3s and stuff, people were like,
Digital,
you're
yeah.
going to hear some low quality MP3, and it's not how I wanted this to be heard. You got to kind of, while I understand and I appreciate that, and I think movies is actually an even more important like genre of entertainment to think about this with, because I know for me that I didn't go to the movie theater a lot. Like, I'm not I used to. I used to be someone that would just go see movies all the time, but it just got so expensive that I didn't want to go see a drama in the theater. If I was going to go to the theater, I wanted a big visual, spectacular,
Yeah.
effects driven movie, something like a DC or a Marvel or something, or a Star Wars or a fantasy like Lord of the Rings. All those were movies where I was like, I got to see this in the theater. I got to see it on a huge screen. I want to hear it in that surround sound. And so I would specifically go see those in the theater. And I understand. I understand um why studios and directors are pushing back against it. But on the other hand, you have to look at the fact that, okay, I'm a director and I directed this movie, and um, I put all this time into it to make it a certain thing. The studio gave me the money for the movie. I'm not losing money on this.
Right.
I'm just kind of complaining that I'm not getting to have people see it in my vision. And while as an artist, I appreciate that and I get that, the studio's like, hey man, like, as we see, right, as we've been able to look at, something can happen and no one goes to the movies for a year. Right. And
Yeah.
they've got all these movies in the pipeline. They've got all these things that they've invested money in, and they need to get some kind of return on that investment before they can invest in more. So they have
Right.
to do something, if they were just to put it, I didn't like the way that Mulan did it, where they said
Right.
they
Where
were
it
gonna,
was
they said they were going to do it, and then they're charged another like $30 or something like that. And I
and
was
then
like,
they said, "Oh, well, you own it." It's what?
right, like, I don't know that I would have
I
wanted to own
subscribe to this.
Mulan. Yeah, I subscribe to your site. Now, would I pay a little bit more? Yeah, sure I would. If it was a movie
Yeah.
that I really wanted to see, if Suicide Squad comes out and I have to pay an extra $10, $15 to stream it when it comes out, sure, I'll do it. I get it. I understand that. I would have spent that and more to go see it at the theater, so I have no problem
Right.
doing that. I totally will do that. It doesn't bother me that I already pay for the service, because the service doesn't owe me anything. I didn't get that service so that I could see new movies. I got that
Right.
service so that I could see the shows and all the things that they're streaming, right? And so that I don't have to have TV. So I understand that too. And I think choice is awesome. I think when you give people choices, are movies going to lose out a little bit in the theater? I think so, yes.
Mhm.
But will more people see these movies? I also think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, I'm way more likely to catch something at home. Like, I'll miss a movie that I planned on seeing, and I just won't. I'll find it'll show up later on a streaming service, and then I'll be like, oh man, I remember I wanted to see this movie.
Yeah.
If I have the
That happens
option,
all the time because people
yeah,
are
if
busy.
I have the option to see it right away, and even if I have to pay for it, if I'm at home and I'm bored, yeah, I'll drop $10. I'll drop $15 to watch something. I
See,
will.
For me, I almost think them saying, 20, 25 bucks. Let me get change.
I can see
25 bucks
that.
because a lot of people who have these services are probably watching it with somebody.
Yeah.
Some people don't obviously, but a lot of times people are watching it with other people. So how do you recoup that?
Well, you
Which
also
I
have to look
understand.
at it. You have to look at it though and say, okay, so the people that aren't watching it with other people, the people that like, you know, I live with someone, maybe they don't want to watch the same movie I want to watch,
Right.
so I just decide to rent it and watch it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I've jumped on Apple and or even Amazon Prime and I've been like, all right, I can rent this movie. It just came out. It's going to cost me, $15. It's going to
Mhm.
cost me that. I'll rent that and watch it on my own without them. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that if it's $25.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
So if if there's two people or more that are going to watch it for $25, then they'll do it and I can see that being a thing. But I think for every two people that watch it for $25, you're missing out on two people that would have paid 15 to watch it alone, and that's $30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a numbers game. And then it comes into what's it worth and, but
Yeah.
again, man, like the world changed and is
Yeah.
changing and can change and could change again. Um, I love going to the movies. I
Yeah.
love going to the movies. I hate going to the movies, and at this point, I don't like going to the movies and not being able to pick my seat. I don't like going to the movies
Yeah.
and ordering pretzel bites and getting the stale old ones and having to drop a tooth while I'm trying to get through one with the cheese sauce. I don't like that. Um, Quality control is not top notch, and I don't like going to a theater and hearing crying babies or people talking or
Yeah.
things
That's
like
annoying.
that. So there are a lot of people that feel that way, that
Yeah.
don't like that stuff. Uh, does that mean I won't go to a theater? Not at all. I'll still go. Like I really, really, really want to see all these future DC and Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Um, I'll probably, when I feel comfortable with it, go see them in the theater. Absolutely. And there are people that are going to be comfortable before I am
Yeah.
going to see them in the theater. And there's going to be people that are comfortable way later than me that are going to go see it in the theater. Why not give all of us the opportunity to check it out? I bet you're even going to get some repeat people that are going to watch it at home and they're going to
And
go, man, that was awesome. I got to go
that would
see
be
that in the theater.
yeah.
Right. And you're going to get people that go to the theater and they come home and they're like, I really want to see it again, but I don't want to go to the theater again. I've done repeat viewings
Oh,
at
yeah,
the theater.
absolutely.
I've gone the next week, the next day. I've
Yeah.
sat in the theater and just watched it again.
Yeah.
If I go pay to see it in the theater and I really love the movie and I go home, am I gonna possibly from time to time just get it again that weekend? Yeah, probably. I probably will.
That's a
So
good point.
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah.
And I think you gotta take the artists. I think they have to kind of go, okay, it's, the studio hired me. Or I made a deal with the studio. Now I understand the ones that made specific deals with studios and now this is happening and they're like, this wasn't in my contract, but contracts are going to have to be changed. It's just,
Yeah. Yep.
man, grow gills.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Adapt.
So just real quick, some of these movies, you got Mortal Kombat, which it should be out this week.
Mhm.
Tom and Jerry in March. I didn't even know they were putting out a Tom and Jerry movie.
No, and that's one that I won't go to the theater to see.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Reminiscence, I don't know what that is. Tiny Little The Little Things, I don't know. The Many Saints of Newark, no idea. Godzilla versus Kong.
Can't
That's
wait.
one that you definitely go to the theater to see. But
Yep.
the
But I
new
might do both.
Conjuring, yeah. Well, that one is until May, so you might be
Yeah.
able to get
Hopefully.
that out there. So you got Conjuring in June, In the Heights also in June, Space Jam in July, which
Yeah.
yeah, didn't the first one say enough?
So
Come on,
yeah.
come on.
I think the first one said too much.
Well, pump the brakes there.
Well, not a lot too much, but a little too much.
No, Space Jam 1 was just quite your face.
I agree to disagree.
Suicide Squad is in August. Dune is in October.
I am so psyched for Dune.
Dune is going to be sick. King Richard, which I wouldn't go see in the theater.
Right.
And then you got Matrix 4 in December, which
Can't wait.
I'm surprised that they would, especially if it's coming out in December, maybe just push it out. But hey, listen, this is what the docket is. That's what HBO Max is going to be giving to
Well,
you.
hey, are they promoting this as a like a thing with a time limit, or are they promoting this as a this is the new normal? That's the thing here is if everything were to go back to normal, are they just going to stop? I think they'll probably hold some movies back, but I think that they're gonna. That's the other thing is I think they're opening a door here that they're not going to be able to shut.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I kind of think that I don't know. There's a lot of ways that this could go. This could actually change the landscape of movies and how we go see movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I personally think, like you said, there's nothing like going to see an awesome new action movie or something like that. There's nothing like going see that in a theater. Just nothing replaces it.
absolutely.
And even if it is a crappy theater, and even if you do get the stale nachos, and it's
You still get
all part
lost
of the
in the movie. It is
right,
the
right.
experience.
You pay $12 for stale tortilla chips and cheese from a dispenser,
Yeah,
and it's
Cheetos
just part
popcorn,
of the
man.
experience. What's that?
Cheetos popcorn.
Cheetos popcorn is nah.
Have you had it?
I have. It's okay.
Dude, I thought it was great. Warm Cheetos in cheesy popcorn. That's fantastic. You get an
Yeah,
occasional super crunch. That's great.
yeah, it's okay.
I couldn't eat a large bucket of it.
No.
And you don't get it instead of popcorn. You get it along with.
Chocolate churros. Chocolate
Oh,
churros with dipping sauce.
any churros.
Yeah, churros are great. I think, you know what? I'm sorry. It was Oreo churros. Oreo churros are the bomb.
I have never had such a thing.
Oh, and it's the cookie outside, chocolate is the churro, and then
Right.
the dipping sauce is, of course, the wonderful middle of
Oh,
the Oreo.
that sounds fantastic.
It's very hard to find. They don't always have it, but when they do, you better jump on it because it is the best.
I am a pretzels and cheese movie theater guy. Pretzel nuggets and cheese. Um, old school like Milk Duds.
Okay,
Like
Milk Duds get
it'll
stuck in your teeth,
it'll take my
and
fillings out. Yeah, but
well, one thing about Milk Duds is, so my problem is because I always get nachos, and Jen always tells me, "I can't believe you're getting nachos again," because
I
you
never get
eat it
nachos.
before. I always do. I always do, and I always eat it always before the movie starts. I start eating them.
Oh yeah.
I start eating them during the previews, which there's generally what about
15 minutes.
40 minutes of previews.
Yeah.
15 minutes. 15 minutes of previews? Come on.
20 minutes,
45
30
is
minutes.
exaggerating. It's definitely like every bit of 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. That's true. You're not wrong. I'm
but
surprised you wait
yeah,
to the previews. Like I start eating the pretzel nuggets and cheese the minute I sit down.
I try and I dip, and I'll have one or two of them, And
Yeah.
once it happens, so but with Milk Duds, back to my point, with Milk Duds, you could start eating them before the previews, finish the box before the movie's done, but still have some in your teeth for the end of the movie that you're trying to pick
Exactly.
out and still have
Exactly.
some. So that's a genius idea. I like that idea. I like your style, Jim.
Hey man, gotta go for it. So it's the pretzel nuggets as the appetizer, the milk duds as the through the movie, and the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that I kind of think is an underrated movie um snack. Snow caps.
Can't do them.
You know,
I think they'd be great without the little crappy little white dots on them. The little
those are sprinkles. Those are sprinkles, friend.
those aren't sprinkles.
They're sprinkles.
Worst sprinkles ever.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's a simple little thing. It's just a little bloop of chocolate.
Yeah.
Sprinkle the sprinkles on top. Come on, it's good.
It's like,
some
hey,
good
here's
stuff.
some chocolate. You want us to ruin it quick? Let's put some
See,
tasteless sprinkles that'll also break your teeth.
let's agree to disagree.
Fair enough. I find a good movie snack because I used to go to the movies by myself a lot, and I would always end up like meeting and talking to the people that were next to me, and so I would always get Twizzlers because Twizzlers is the best
Ooh,
sharing snack.
very good. I like chocolate Twizzlers personally. They
Mhm.
usually don't have them at the movie theater
I
though.
usually don't have them at the theater. Yeah,
But yeah, chocolate Twizzlers are awesome. Awesome.
yeah. I've had a chocolate Twizzler. Definitely good stuff. The Nerds Rope, not too bad either.
Oh
That's not
yeah,
a sharer. That's not a sharer at all. That's
no,
definitely a.
no. I haven't had nerds in a while. Now
I didn't either.
I remember back in the day, there used to be all sorts of different types. All I can ever find nowadays are the grape strawberry 2-pack, the little box.
That's all I've seen too. I haven't bought
That's a
Nerd
shame.
in a very long time, but I got a small box of the strawberry ones,
Yeah.
from a student at the
Oh,
school that I work at. They gave me like some Halloween candy, and there was a little strawberry Nerds box in there, and I was like, "Oh, Nerds!" I didn't
yeah.
eat it.
Oh, great. No, nerds are great. I've always got a thing for sour candy.
Me too, man. I love sour.
I used to
Sour Patch
love
Kids, Sweet Tarts, I love Warhead.
Warheads. And then as soon as it got to the sweet, I'd spit it out and pop another one in.
I like Sweet Tarts a lot. I used to
Sweet tarts are good.
I had a racket when I was in high school, and so if any of my old teachers are listening to this, I know a couple of them listen to my music from time to time. So Mrs. Sauter, I apologize. She's my English teacher. But we had off-campus lunch, and I would and also mom, sorry. I used to we had this little bookstore that you could go into, and I would go into the bookstore and I would steal a bunch of candy. I would steal a bunch of like packs of sweet tarts, and I wouldn't steal. I would always buy something, but I would always leave with more things than I bought. I would never go in and just take something and leave because I thought that was wrong. But I thought like, well, as long as I buy something, then I'm paying for something, and then I'm good.
You
And then I would go back to school
you
and I
kind of
would
were
sell.
doing the but wait, there's more.
Yeah. But yeah, I would go back to school and I would sell everything.
Oh,
And that would help me, pay for my off-campus lunch because I didn't want to bring my lunch. I wanted to go to Burger King,
yeah.
or we had a pizza place called Beepers that had the best breadsticks I've ever had in my life because they were uh, baked in the pizza oven, but they fried them first. So it was like a long zeppoli covered in garlic and parmesan and mozzarella that was then put in the pizza oven to finish it off. So it had that chewy airiness of a fried thing.
Yeah.
and then the crusty cheese and crunchy. And oh my god, it was so good.
That sounds
So
amazing.
good. It was absolutely amazing. They closed, but it was and they had grinders. Do you know what a grinder is? Is a grinder a
It,
thing out here in New York?
so no, I do know what it is because we
Right.
travel the
Right.
world.
Yeah.
So a grinder is an app on your phone. No, I'm just
Okay, so you travel the world and you've got Grinder on your phone. I'm talking about, of course,
a
the
hoagie, a hero, a sandwich.
yes, but a Grinder is different. At least in my understanding of it, from because I understood sub and hoagie and hero, and those are all cold. A Grinder is baked. It's like a sandwich that's again either put in a pizza oven or
Mhm.
baked. It's hot. And so that was always what a grinder was to me. And then I've heard since then that it's just another word for a hero, but I prefer
Mhm.
to think of them as two different things because
Well, I've had heroes. Okay, you remember Quiznos?
Mhm.
They're not a thing anymore, I don't think. Not locally, at least.
Yeah,
If I'm
unfortunately,
wrong,
because they're
if
great.
I'm wrong, listeners, you can their sauces were awesome. Their condiment station,
Yeah.
hands down. Because they gave you the cups
Well, they were like a
and then
they
you
were
could
like a
grab all the
Subway.
peppers you wanted.
I liked Quiznos because one, they were to me they were grinders,
Mhm.
but also because like I like Subway. I'll eat Subway. I used to work at a Subway. Uh if I get if I make roast beef at home, right? And then I slice it. All my slices are not the same shape and size,
Mhm.
right? If I slice chicken breast, all my chicken is not the same shape and size. When I worked at Subway, all my slices were the same shape and size. I would open that bag, eat fresh.
Well, you're eating fresh
Not
chicken that was popped out of a mold.
right.
Um, almost like uh, like an ice cube.
Yeah.
Just pop it out.
Now,
And
nothing wrong with it. I'll eat it.
now here's the other thing. You're talking about that with Subway. Quiznos was the same thing. And what used to gross me out with their stuff is they used to take the chicken and heat it up, um, and they put it in this basket, and then they dump it in hot water, and then they pull it out.
Oh
You
yeah, I'm
remember
not
that?
thinking Quiznos. What am I thinking? I'll think of it. Keep going.
Okay, so they used to take it, they put it in a basket, they submerge it in water, pull it out, and then slap it on your sandwich, and you're like, are you gonna drain that a little bit, or what? So that's why points get taken away from Quiznos. Also, they used to destroy my stomach. Didn't matter what I got. I could get a salad from there. I could get a sandwich from there. It didn't matter. So if somebody was like, "Oh, I'm going to Quiznos," and I couldn't go and get lunch for myself, and I'd get something, you'd always just have to go big because if you're going to be dying the next day,
Right.
you just might as well make it worth it.
I was actually confusing and combining Quiznos and Blimpie.
See, Blimpie is here or was. You know what? I think there
Blimpie,
is a Blimpie locally.
Blimpie has a meat slicer on premises,
Yes, they do.
right? And I appreciate that.
Yes, they are. Any Blimpie I've ever gone to is dirtier than any deli you could
Yes.
ever go to. And
Although
some,
New York has the best delis ever.
yes, yeah.
Um,
Well,
any
some of the
deli,
only.
yeah, any deli I've been to anywhere else in the country, I've been somewhat afraid, nervous to order
Well,
from.
the other thing is that a lot of these places, much like pizza places, um, they often uh, they kind of use the New York model as their deli.
Right.
and they just use crappy meat.
Yeah.
Boar's Head, not a sponsor,
Not a
but
spot.
Boar's Head. That's the way to go.
Yeah, that is the way to go. Absolutely.
Unless actually, so I've been cheating on them. So when I
Oh.
get meats, a lot of times, so we have a place called North Shore Farms, also not a sponsor, down the road from us, and then we also have Stu Leonard's, another not sponsor,
Fantastic.
and they have their own deli meats,
Yes.
and they're way cheaper, and they are super delicious, and they're done on premises.
Yeah, I think your local grocer deli meats is generally a decent way to go.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue. Now I will say that I have noticed a big difference in quality when it comes to cheese.
Oh, cheese is
Boar's
a big
Head
one.
versus like a local grocery store.
Yeah.
I've gotten like we'll just go with American, right?
Mhm.
Like for burgers. And I've gotten American cheese store bought, and before I was done with that, I've made a trip to another place and grabbed a Boar's Head thing of more slices and made them next to each other and been like, wow, there is a big difference in flavor profile
Yeah.
between these two American cheeses.
Yeah.
Which is not
American
the
cheese.
best cheese to begin with. It's just a good burger cheese.
Yeah, American cheese. I was just gonna say that's not really a cheese, right?
No, but it's to me, it's like a burger cheese.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite burger cheeses.
it's a grilled cheese.
By far, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good it's good when you're making like a mac and cheese. If you're making a cheese sauce also, you throw a little bit of American in there because all the stuff that's in it will help keep everything else kind of creamy and together.
Yes. Yeah. I can agree with that. People who put American cheese on a hero should be shot.
I don't know about those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they should be shot.
They bother me.
Yeah.
They bother me.
Because when you have deli meat, the cheese possibilities are endless.
Yeah, I feel like American cheese on a hero is like you just you got overwhelmed by choice. And you just
Or
went, "Oh, American."
yeah, no, you can't do that. I mean, you could
Or it's all you have.
even
Which
at
is should be all
Subway.
you have. You should always have multiple cheeses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a one cheese guy.
Are
For the
you?
most part. For the most part. There are some times when I do mix my cheeses, mozzarella and Parmesan.
Well, yeah, mozzarella's
They
not
kind of go
really
hand
a
in
by
hand.
itself cheese. Unless
Yeah,
you gotta add to it. A little salt, a little balsamic, you're awesome, but
I do like it with
on a margarita pie, something like that, but you're putting
yeah,
Parmesan on there. I like to have one, like, nutty cheese, like a hard cheese,
yeah.
and then, like, in the fridge at any time. I like to
Okay.
have, like a nutty hard cheese that you would eat by itself or with crackers, right?
Mhm.
Or put on a sandwich. I like to have some American in case you wanna make a sauce or you wanna do a burger or something like that. I like to have, it's gotta have a Parmesan, and I like to have a shredded. Now, I've been shredding my own recently, because it's cheaper to buy the block and shred it than it is to buy the shredded cheese, and shredded cheese has stuff on it to keep it from sticking together and melting, which makes it
Mhm.
melt weird and, makes it not the best, but it's so it stays separate in the bag.
Right, right.
So,
So it stays shredded
yeah,
cheese
so
and doesn't become
I'll buy
dry.
a cheddar, or I'll buy, like, a jack cheese or something, and I'll shred my own. But I like to have a shredded, an American, and a hard, sharp cheese of some kind.
We usually keep a like a cheddar for a taco night. So it's
Mhm.
either a cheddar or a Mexican blend. Um, mozzarella cheese we always have around because I make just
Shredded or fresh?
we just do the shredded. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times it's kind of on the go. We do a lot of meals, like we do some meal prep. So
Absolutely.
Jen we'll
I
get
mean, I'm
a
pro shredded. I'm pro shredded mozzarella. I love buffalo fresh mozzarella, but if you're melting it on something, that stuff's too wet.
yeah. Yeah, and then it gets forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we'll actually do is I actually made, like, just last weekend, I made a double batch of sauce, and I'll take 6 of those giant cans
Mhm.
and I'll make a sauce for, I'll make a bunch of batches and put them in the freezer. And then same thing with Jen with eggplant. So she'll just make a whole bunch of fried eggplant. We'll use some for a night, and then we'll put the rest in a freezer.
Nice.
We just started doing that with chicken. My parents got this block of chicken. It was literally a block of chicken, but it was all chicken breast, right?
Okay.
It was like 12 pounds, and it only cost them like $7
Wow.
or $8.
Right.
So it was ridiculous. They just got a giant frozen block of chicken. They said, "Hey, you want a giant frozen block of chicken?"
Who says no
And
to
I
that?
said,
Nobody.
"Okay." So they gave us this giant frozen block of chicken. It took 3 days to defrost. And Jen and I just took all of them, sliced them up. I grilled a few to throw in the freezer for quick again, the air fryer, man.
Oh
The
yeah.
air
I got a
fryer.
new one.
You got a new one. That's
I got
right.
a new one.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
Can't sing our praises enough for the air fryer. Probably one of the greatest inventions known to
Absolutely.
man. So if there is an air fryer company who wants to sponsor this show,
Talk to us.
talk to us.
We'll make bacon every single week
We'll
in
make
the air fryer on
everything.
the air.
We'll make everything
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying on
on air.
brand.
Yeah. So yeah, we just made a whole bunch of them, and what we'll do is we'll just assemble it. So the mozzarella as a shredded,
Mhm.
it kind of it's easier to keep around, and then we just have all these frozen components. We take them out the night before, we assemble it up. Eggplant parm, chicken
Nice.
parm in a pinch, just like that.
I made recently. I decided to try. I've made it before, and it's never been as good as I wanted it to be. And I figured out the problem. I made a French onion soup. Right.
Okay.
And I made it actually yesterday. We had French onion soup and tuna steaks for dinner.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
I love tuna steaks.
I watched an episode of the Chef Show on Netflix. Not a sponsor. And they were making a French onion soup, and the chef on the show was like, here's the problem everybody always does is they always think that to caramelize onions you go high heat, right? And he goes, no, you go low heat and you cook them for a long period of time, and you make an onion jam first,
Yes.
and you don't add any sugar.
Right.
Right? A lot of people add sugar also to caramelize onions. I've done that before. It's a quick way to get some color on them and stuff. So, so I like started at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I was like, I'm going to make onions. I cut up all the onions, put them in there, started them on like a low heat. And I just, I put on the pot and I set a timer for 5 minutes, and I just went, I didn't stir them at all until 5 minutes. I went and stirred them, and then another 5, and I let that go for about a half hour, 35 minutes. And they started to really like smell up the house. And then,
Yeah.
like, I crushed up some garlic and threw it in there too, and let that do the same thing. And the soup that I ended up making from it was so good. Like it was the best I've ever made, ever. And
Nice.
and we had the crocks, and we did the bread and
Yeah,
the
bread and
cheese. We had a
awesome.
yeah, absolutely. We had a Gruyere and an Asiago little mix going on.
That's a good mix.
Yeah, definitely good to see. I got my nutty hard cheese, and I got my melter. You know, good flavor profile going on there. And then
Yeah, that's a good
the
thing.
tuna steaks was just salt, pepper, and a little bit of cayenne, and that made them excellent.
Yeah, what I do with the tuna steaks is I generally, for whatever reason, I always go Asian with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always make it with crusted sesame seeds, crusted
Delicious.
sesame seed.
Yeah, excellent.
So what I'll do is I'll put let's see, we have some garlic, soy sauce, um, what else? Lime juice and a little sesame oil, and I'll dip the um, I'll put the steaks in that. I'll throw it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put it in the uh, sesame seeds. Then I'll throw it in a super high heat pan for a couple minutes. Flop it over.
Yeah.
That's what I do, and then I keep a lot of that sauce to the side as well. Oh, I put honey in it as well.
Absolutely. Honey is great on
Yeah,
any fish. We made salmon recently, and we did
yeah.
I did like a honey chipotle sauce.
Uh, what's great, I've done any kind of nut, like a
Yeah.
walnut or something on, like crusted on the salmon is great.
Oh, I haven't done that. I'll have to check that out.
Ooh, yeah, maple. I think I did like a maple walnut salmon,
Nice.
crusted salmon, and it was delicious.
I love food.
Delicious.
I love food so much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, something that we should probably share is that we are working on an additional service here, a Patreon, if you will.
Yeah.
And as soon as it's up and running, I mean, we should definitely do some cooking things.
Absolutely. I think we should do like a cooking with bacon is my passion.
Yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of stuff before.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things, one of my dark horse favorite Jimmy G dishes, not even a dish, just a thing that you make, your Asian slaw.
Oh, yeah, I love doing that.
Your Asian slaw is top notch.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I do not like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna make a slaw, it's gonna be vinegary and spicy.
It is awesome, and I don't even remember what we put it on. You know what?
Pork?
Yeah, maybe it was pork. Probably pulled pork.
Could have been.
What did we
That's
put
what I
on
think
the
of. As soon as I think
taco?
of slaw, I think of pulled pork because I'm like a barbecue and like vinegar slaw type of
slaw.
person. You know, something
Yeah.
with like Asian hot chilies and brown sugar and like rice wine vinegar.
Yeah.
You know,
What did we put on the? We did those swordfish tacos.
those are so good.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did we
those are
put on? I don't remember what we
know.
put.
What I do remember is that was the night. So we had just figured out a couple days before that Jen was pregnant with my daughter.
Yeah.
And we weren't telling anybody, but it was a couple of days.
Right.
And you and I had gone to the store and we picked the stuff up and we make it. And we haven't done it in a little while. We should probably get on that.
We gotta do that again. Yeah.
What we would do is we'd open up a Saturday and we'd cook, we'd have a delicious meal, we'd hang out, we'd probably drink a bottle or two of whiskey.
Yeah.
We'd get yelled at.
I never got.
Oh, right. You weren't there. You were gone.
People yell when I leave.
Yeah. But no, we
yelled about, never at.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was a good time. But this time in particular, we put the swordfish down on the table and Jen kind of pulled me aside and was like, I can't eat this. I said, you all right? She's, no, I can't eat this.
I think that's when you told me.
And then I told you, I told you because of that. I was like, hey,
not an insult that she's not eating this.
Yeah. I said, it's not an insult. She's not feeling great because, and right. I told you, you were the first person outside of Jen and I that knew that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah.
See, that's why me and Lacey have a connection.
You have a thing. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely going to be a star. She's
Oh,
going to be my star.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gavin's going to do like great things. He's going to be a healer, but Lacey's just going to be that ruthless. She's going to go and do everything that you and I wanted to do with our
Oh,
lives.
absolutely.
So what we need to
And
do,
she's not going to thank either of us.
no, but we should ride the coattails
Oh yeah, I'm
as
ready.
long as we can.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to ride any coattails I can find.
It's not above either of us.
No, there's very few things that are
Yeah.
above me.
I mean, shoot, look what I've been doing. As long as we've been friends.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I think it's come to be the time.
Oh, is it Pod Decks time?
It's Pod Deck's time.
Nice.
We're gonna go with the interview deck.
Let's do it.
Because we're going remotely. Jimmy can't actually pick the card, but he will semi pick the card.
Yeah, I can point.
Hold on. I'm gonna bring this down here and
You got to show me a shuffle at some point.
what's that?
I said you got to show me a shuffle.
Yeah.
Man. There's a skill to it.
I used to play a lot of cards, a lot of solitaire, and then being married to Jen, her parents like cards too, and we used to literally every Sunday play cards.
Yeah, they
for
take
a
money
long time. Yeah. I used to have to come with singles, so it's a good thing I'm a stripper, or I was a stripper.
I was gonna say exotic dancer, man.
Yeah, a dancer. All right, Jim.
Yeah.
Where are we going for here?
All right, so I want you to stop right there, grab as much of the stack as you can, and remove it, and put that down. All right. Now fan them out a little more. All right, move your hand over them and stop. Finger and thumb, that's it. That's the one.
Okay. If you can instantly become one, what would you be an expert in?
An expert in. Wow, that's a really hard question to answer off the bat. Let's see. The first thing my brain went to was financial advice. The second thing my brain went to was scuba diving. And then the third thing that my brain went to was songwriting.
Okay.
Right? Which is telling that that's the third thing. Because you can be an expert songwriter and still not do anything with it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm an expert financial advisor.
You can do a whole lot with that.
I've probably done some good things.
Okay.
What would it? I'd also be an expert skydiver because that would be fun.
I feel like once you've done it, you're already an expert.
No, I've done it.
I'm jumped out of a plane.
I have jumped out of a plane. I am not an expert. And I'll tell you, like the mistake that I made jumping out of a plane the first time I did, that I would not make the second time.
It's having a dude strapped to your back.
No, I'd probably do that again the second time.
Oh, okay.
Because thankfully I had a dude strapped to my back. Because as we were rocketing towards the earth, I was enjoying myself so much that I just stopped looking at my altitude meter in any way, shape, or form. I just didn't even look at it. Like he
Oh.
showed me before, and he said, when it hits here, we're gonna pull the chute. And I was like, yeah, man, awesome. And then I never looked at it again. And as we're rocketing towards the earth, he grabs my arm and shoves it in front of my face to show me, pull the chute, man. And that's when I pulled the chute. I don't know when I would have figured out that I was supposed to do that, but it definitely would have been far beyond the altitude that I was supposed to pull it at. It would have probably been when I noticed that everyone else that had jumped out had their chutes open, and they jumped out after me. And then to do that, I would have had to spin around and look up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so that's one lesson that I learned that I would hope I would remember for the next time. But the adrenaline and the excitement and just the view and all of it hits you all at once, that my brain just completely shut off from even realizing that I was falling.
That you
Because-
had to preserve your life somehow.
Well, it's funny because you only feel like you're falling on the very first move out of the plane.
Sure.
Because you go from sitting on a solid object to on nothing, right? And then you're falling so fast, you're not speeding up anymore because you're at what they call terminal velocity. And once that happens, you're so far from the ground that it doesn't look like it's getting closer. And you're in such a big open area that nothing's coming at you or rushing at you. So it really just feels like you're just kind of floating and there. And it's awesome. I mean, it feels really windy, but it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like you don't get that sense of falling, like your stomach going up or any of that kind of stuff. All that's gone after the first like second that you
Yeah.
leave the plane. And at that point, you're just kind of like, I'm flying, like, or it
Yeah.
doesn't even feel like flying. It just feels like you're suspended,
Yeah.
and for the ground to look like it's coming at you, you have to be way too close to open the chute at that point.
All right.
So that's my opinion on what it probably is to be an expert at skydiving. You have to
Nice.
the awareness has to be there, and I don't have it. At least I didn't on my one jump. I was just enjoying everything so much. Next time we'll see what happens. We should
Cool.
go. We should go, and
I've never done it.
we should film it for a podcast.
Okay.
And we should bring we should make a contest, and we should bring somebody.
Okay.
We'll think about that.
So if you win the contest, Jim is going to pay for you to go skydiving with us.
The podcast will pay for you because by that time we'll have sponsors.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
And we'll have
Well-
Patreons. We'll only do it for Patreons,
Yeah. Well, of course. Of course.
right? Which I think like we should do a lot of fun things for Patreons. Like for patrons, I think if for anybody listening, like let us know what you think would be cool. But I think we should
Yeah.
do things like get-togethers, and we should do things like cooking things. Like we can do
Making my
contests where
magic
like
cookout.
we're like we'll do like cookouts. We'll have it where like the winning patron like can bring any item, and we'll have to make like a meal out of it.
Okay.
Something interesting, something fun. But we'll definitely do something to where we're able to where we can hang out. And once we get back to traveling with the NCAN stuff, also, I think we should
Oh, yeah.
we should figure out patrons that are in the area that we're going, and we'll do
Yeah.
like a meetup or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of stuff is going to be super fun to do. Anybody that listens to the podcast and supports us and supports our bands, we always want to like know you better.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. So, we'll have to do something where it's like, we're going to be in this area who's our patrons in that area, and we're gonna do a get together, and we're gonna buy you a drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. That's something that I would enjoy doing. I think it would be super
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, we'll
Yeah, I'm in.
keep an eye out for that stuff. And if you guys that want to be patrons and want to do that stuff with us and be a part of that with us, let us know some things that you would like and some things that you think would be cool, whether it be, being on the podcast with us, popping in for an interview. I would love to start doing things where we have like you guys actually do our like adverts, where like
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys can send in something and be like, what's your bacon? Bacon is my podcast, like something. I think I would love to include all of you guys that are listeners. So talk to us, let us know. I think that is awesome. How can they reach us?
They can reach us on our social media platforms, which is
Yep.
Bacon is My Passion, because we are a band as well.
Yes, we are.
And our stuff is streaming as we speak. Jim and I are hard at work on the next release.
Yep.
What song are we working on?
That works whenever you see this. We're always hardly working. I almost said hardly working.
Hardly working.
We're always hard at work on the next
Right.
release because we're always going to
Right.
release something else. So
So
you're looking at the board now, but it's like whatever you're looking on the board now, when they're listening to this, it could already be out, or it could be like months away because we just wrote
Right.
something else that had to come out first.
Right. That's the thing. So Jim and I, we do this before we get together every week.
Yeah.
At least once. We do this first, and then we work on other stuff, and then we have like more stuff happening after we finish this. Even though we're working remotely, we're working on something else. So
Yep.
we're always working on something for the Bacon.
Today it's working on stuff we're going to leave here and we're going to start working on some fun stuff for our patrons.
Yeah. So once again, he is James.
And he is Mike.
Before we leave, I think we need a countdown.
Oh. Did I start that too early?
I think you started it way too early.
I might have started it way too early. I agree, Mike. I think we also need a countdown.
See,
it just feels so long. It just feels so long.
the issue there was we're working remotely, and I couldn't count down to the countdown.
Right.
Because I was going to go 3, 2, 1.
Next week, I'm going to have another countdown. I'm going to make one. I'm just going to start making countdowns.
Keep the same music, though, because I like that music.
Maybe.
I really like that music.
I'll add in other music to the countdown. I wish I had a share audio thing. I don't have that. Yeah, I don't have just a straight share audio thing. So StreamYard, if you're listening and you want to be a sponsor.
Or just add features we want.
Or just add features that we would like. I think sharing audio would be awesome if we could do clips, because I would love to be able to. I'd love to have like some sound effects or some little
soundboard.
Like right, like pop in. I think that would be super fun. Yeah. But yeah, we'll work on that. I'm definitely gonna make some other countdowns.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm gonna say I'm gonna make other countdowns, and then I might forget about it, and then we'll just keep using this one over and over and over again. So every now and then you'll just like see but it just feels like it's going to be so long. It feels like it's going to be so long.
We need to count down to 2022 like that.
Oh, maybe we will. Maybe we should. No, we shouldn't. I was going to say maybe we should make a podcast that if you start it at a certain time, it'll be a countdown and it'll actually end right on the
I
new year,
like it.
right?
We have a year to work on it, so let's do it.
All right. All right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's figure that out.
So anyway,
in case anybody's going to be sitting on New Year's Eve listening to a podcast.
Right. Well, Anyway, you can catch Craving Strange and their newish single Rise.
Yes.
And it sounds delicious. You can catch Something Heavy and the newish single It's What's Written.
Unless you listen to this a year from now, in which case these are old songs and our new stuff is coming out soon or already out.
Right.
Time is so weird on these.
Time is weird. Time is weird.
Where can they
find don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, 5-star reviews, because every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
Right,
helps people hear this. Where can they find you and Something Heavy?
Me. Well, Something Heavy they can find at Something Heavy Music, basically every social media platform, Spotify, all that stuff. Me personally, you could probably catch me on Facebook. I'm not really on the Twitter, but I do have a personal Instagram at me, my own self, Mike, because I have 150 projects that I'm always doing, and that is one of them.
Prolific is what we call him.
Yeah. James, what about you?
And same thing. Craven Strange Music, at Craven Strange Music. You can find pretty much all of our socials. You can find me on Instagram at Jimmy G's Shoes. There's an underscore between on either side of the G's. Right. And yeah, you can find me on same thing on Twitter. Same thing on Facebook. It's just Jimmy G. And I answer everything anyway for everything. So any way you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me through all those things.
And of course,
Passion on Facebook,
Bacon is My Passion,
and on Instagram, Bacon is My Passion Music. So check that out. And yeah, stay tuned for more music from both of us individually, more music from us together, more opportunities to hang out with us right here on Bacon is My Podcast. Like Mike said before, 5-star review, please, if you're on Apple, because it just helps other people hear us and know that we exist. That is the hardest thing in the world, is to let people know that you exist. So help us let people know, even if they hate us, let's give them a choice.
Right.
Soliciting
any sort of reaction is all we care about.
Exactly.
Where we watch wrestling, we know good or bad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you still
Fields
win.
and faces, man. It's all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all how you pop a crowd.
Woo!
Yeah. I smell what you're cooking.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace. If you can't be good at it.
And countdown now.
Never let it get to 1.